Lately, Apex players have become frustrated when fighting certain movement legends, so Respawn are adding 2 new movement counters to the game, and also, we just found a hidden Octane buff that probably won't release until Season 26. You may already be aware that in tomorrow's update, Respawn are removing Ash's upgrade that allows her to have 2 dashes, and also reducing the cooldown on her dash by 2 seconds. This is of course to address the fact that Ash's dash is very annoying to fight sometimes, and Ashes do use it to get out of situations they shouldn't be able to get out of, but this also shows that Respawn realize people really enjoy the dash and they want to keep it powerful and fun. The way they nerfed it and buffed it at the same time is great, but in this update they also added 2 anti-movement tools that target Sparrow and Ash specifically, because Sparrow and Ash are the only 2 movement legends right now that have these movement bars that are consumed when they use their movement ability. The first new counter that Respawn added was the Arc Star. The Arc Star already inhibits your movement a lot if you're shocked by it, but starting in tomorrow's update, now if the explosion hits you while you're in midair or sliding, it will reduce your movement, and additionally, if you get hit by an Arc Star explosion as Ash or Sparrow, it will consume the cooldown of your dash or double jump, which is a change which is definitely targeting these characters' abilities to get out of sticky situations, as if you Arc Starred an Ash today, she will probably immediately dash away, you would lose her and she would heal. But as of tomorrow, if you hit her with an Arc Star, she will be stuck where she is and she will have to stand and fight and probably die. This is clearly a step taken by Respawn to make sure the dash is still a very good tool in Apex, but not a tool to escape fights you shouldn't be able to escape. This isn't the only thing in the new update that's going to be consuming your cooldowns, as you're probably aware that Watson is getting a mini rework tomorrow, and one of the buffs in her rework is Fences now slow sliding and jumping enemies, and consume cooldowns on Ash's dash and Sparrow's double jump. So now, if Ash or Sparrow simply touch a Watson fence, they lose their movement ability. Much like the Arcstar situation, this was clearly added by Respawn to stop these characters dashing out of any stun they get involved in, but this definitely brings up a healthy counter to the movement characters: simply stun them. This is definitely going to add some use to the Arcstar, but it's definitely going to add a lot of use to Watson. It's going to be way harder to breach her now with her new door upgrade, and now this. And you have to realize how powerful this is, considering statistically there's nearly an Ash on every team, so this is going to come in useful a lot. It's nice to see Respawn tackling the powerful new movement abilities in a healthy way. Instead of outright nerfing them, they're rebalancing them and adding counters. This is healthy and maintains the fun. Also, Respawn released a bit more gameplay of the new update, and it looks like it's going to be really fun. We get a bit of new gameplay of the Watson abilities, and here we can see how fast her fences charge now. They come back quickly. Also in this same bit, we get to see Ash walk through a fence and have her dash cooldown absolutely nuked. Next, we get to see some gameplay of the Vantage buff, because Vantage got some heavy buffs. Respawn demonstrate that her hitbox is now smaller and it better conforms to her body model, so for some reason Vantage's hitbox used to be bigger than her. Additionally, we get to see the buffs to her tactical ability. Now her bat flies further away from her, allowing you to make longer jumps, and then we get to see that her jump activation time is considerably faster, allowing you to jump to the bat quicker, and of course she now pulls out her weapons 2 times faster after completing her echo jump. Respawn also demonstrate the buffs to her ultimate in gameplay. Here we get to see that whenever she pulls out her sniper, she automatically gets a gun shield on it, which is absolutely huge, and you may notice this point of view is from the enemy's point of view, and Vantage has no laser. That's because now her laser doesn't activate until she shoots. Respawn also demonstrate in the gameplay here that the gun shield is a purple perk, so you choose between a sniper gun shield or 5 seconds off your tactical cooldown. Actually quite a hard decision. After this, Respawn show us the new layout of Ash's upgrades. As we can see, her purple upgrades are now dedicated to the existing tether upgrades. They've just been moved from blue to purple, and now the blue upgrades are a choice between 2 ultimate charges or charged knock, which gives you regen on a knock. Now, you may believe that some of these changes are broken or Respawn went too far with them, but there's definitely one change which I was scratching my head at. Respawn are giving the R301 gun shield generator compatibility, which is a strange change. One change that is tiny but massive at the same time is the change to Arsenal consoles and the hold to use system. First of all, Respawn have increased the interact size of the consoles on the Arsenals, so now you won't accidentally pick up weapons while trying to upgrade your weapon, but they haven't only done that, but they've also addressed the hold to use system. If you've played Apex at all, you've probably had an issue where you accidentally picked up a weapon while trying to open a death box or interact with something, and Respawn have tried to fix this by rewriting the hold to use system. So I think they actually rewrote code to make this system more accurate. They said it should be more accurate and players should swap weapons on accident a lot less often. And if you don't understand why it's so big that Respawn fixed this issue, watch this clip that was literally posted the other day. This should happen a lot less now. In these patch notes as well, they are teasing a future change to Apex. As Respawn said, they've updated the visual effects around the Thermite. They added detonation effects and also made it a bit less blinding and annoying. And they gave us this video demonstrating the differences. The differences aren't huge, but this is definitely going to be nice for enemy visibility, as there's been many complaints that you can't see enemies behind Thermite. But while watching this video, people realized inside this video, Respawn were teasing or testing a future Octane buff. As in this video, Octane has 2 jump pad charges. Whoa, that makes sense, right? Because he has a perk that allows him to have 2 jump pad charges. Actually, no, it makes no sense, because when we look over to Octane's health bar, he has no upgrades equipped, which means in the build Respawn are demonstrating this change in, Octane has actually had this upgrade integrated into his base kit and been given a new upgrade to replace the 2 charge upgrade. We don't know what that new upgrade is at the minute. All we know is that this is looking like a future buff Respawn are giving to Octane, which makes sense. Octane used to be the movement character, but he's been completely overshadowed now by characters like Sparrow, who can double jump as their passive rather than their ultimate. It's not uncommon for Respawn to integrate an existing upgrade into a character's kit to buff them, as in this exact update, Vantage has had the same thing done to her, so maybe we could see a pretty big Octane buff in the future just to get him up there with the other legends, because he feels massively outdated these days, especially with the new legends. It's no secret. And once again, because of this update, it's clear to me that Respawn are moving towards more of a movement game because they realize people like it. Like, they didn't nerf Ash Dash, they kind of just rebalanced it, and they allowed Vantage to lean more into the movement provided by Echo. I really hope in the future we see more buffs allowing characters to lean into their movement. Clearly Octane's getting something like that in the future, and maybe we'll be able to see more characters and tools to prevent movement in the game. Honestly, I think Caustic and Rampart definitely need a check-in from Respawn, because truthfully, in the current state of Apex, these guys are especially useless. And while we're talking about small but high impact changes in the new update, there's one more to the Mastiff. Essentially, if you've ever spammed the Mastiff while aiming down sights, you may realize that after shooting, by the time you can shoot again, your reticle hasn't actually made it to the center of your screen, making it a bit of a gamble to where your bullets are going to land. But in the new update, Respawn are adding a new aim down sight firing animation for the Mastiff, which basically makes it so your reticle does come to the center of the screen faster, so you can make those accurate shots. This was definitely needed. But the update literally comes out tomorrow, so if you want to see what happens in the update, subscribe.